for you to revise on can and can't. Right, let's watch the video and revise can and can't. Okay.
Can I play with my friends? You can do your homework first. Oh, I can't do maths. It's so difficult. Can I ask my friends for some help? No, you can't go outside. You can do maths. You're good at it. Well done. You can go outside now. She can do maths. She cannot do maths. She can't do maths.
Okay, so that's about it for this video. I hope you refreshed your memory on can and cannot or can't. So how are you supposed to follow the spelling rules, the grammar rule, in order to use can and cannot, can and can't for ability. Right, so now we will go back to your book. So if you go back to your book, you will see the English book, English plus one notebook. You can see the activity 1 here. Activity 1, whereby you have to answer, you have to complete the examples from the quiz on page 36. If you still remember, we did the quiz on page 36 on animal skills for your last lesson. You can actually go back to that page, and based on that page, you can answer this quiz. The answer is can and can't. So you just have to say, for example, an eagle can see a small animal from, okay, what is that? That you have to go back to the quiz, the earlier page, and you can put the answer. Ostriches can fly or can't fly. Can a scorpion kill a human? Yes, it can. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. So you have to think about that. Can elephants hear with their ears and their feet? Yes, they can. No, they can't. So just remember the rules here. We use can and can't in affirmative sentences, which I have already mentioned in the earlier video, and we use can and can't in negative sentences. So which one do we use? We use can for affirmative sentences and we use can't in negative sentences. So you just have to remember that, right? And you read the rest of the rules here. And okay, then we can do activity 2. Complete the dialogue with can and can't. Right, so I'm very intelligent. I can speak 5 languages. Can you speak human languages? Yes, I can. No, I can't. So you just, when you see the yes, it's an affirmative sentence. So you should give a can answer there. And if it's no, you should say can't, because it's a negative sentence, negative answer. So you give a negative answer. The yes and no is the indication for you to give affirmative and negative answer. Okay. So for activity 3, you need to write about your abilities. Again, you have to use can and can't. Use the ideas in the box, then ask and answer questions with a partner. So if you don't have a partner, but you can just use the words here and make up a question and give an answer. Can you swim 25 meters? Can you swim 25 meters is an example. I can't swim 25 meters. No, I can't. So this is an example of how you're supposed to give an answer to this kind of question. And if you can still remember, if you have watched the earlier video, how are you supposed to use can when you're asking questions, interrogative? Can you? Can she? Can they? Can he? Alright? So just remember that when you're asking a question and how you're supposed to give a reply. Alright? It's as simple as it is. It's not that complicated. Alright? Activity 4. Look at the examples of questions with how. How do you ask these questions in your language? How far can an eagle see? How big can a gorilla grow? So this is for whereby they have given you an example introduction for the next activity. The next activity we will be listening to a podcast. The track, the listening audio is there, so teacher will play it for you. You need to listen to that and then check the answer. How heavy is a new baby? So this activity is an introduction for this activity. As simple as that. So shall we go into the listening audio? Are you ready for that? Okay, teacher will go and go to my Telegram account and play the video for you. Not the video, the podcast. So if you're ready, we can listen. Okay, I'm alright.
1. How fast can the fastest person run?
So you see this is the first one, huh?
How many countries are there in the world?
Second
3.
one.
How tall is an adult giraffe? 4. How long is an adult crocodile? 5. How far is the North Pole from the South Pole?
Okay, so I hope you
Unit
got the
3.
answers.
Speaking. Exercise 2.
Okay, right. Okay, I hope you got the answers. So this is what they're asking you to do here. You listen to the podcast and you compare the answers here, and if possible you try to answer them on your own first, but now I've already given you the answers, then you can check the answers. So this is, as I said, this is an introduction for this activity. That's it. As simple as that. And it's a revision of your adjectives that you learned earlier. Superlative adjective, fastest, and all that, right? So when you look at the key phrases, you answer the questions in exercise 5 with the answers in the box. Use the key phrases and you compare your answers with a partner. So you should have a partner to do this activity, but we don't. But you can prepare the answers on your own. And when we have our Google Meet, we can discuss the activity. Who can you prepare, who couldn't is alright. Okay, for activity 7, ask and answer questions with how. Find people in the class with the same answers as you. Again, we need to do a group activity here, whereby you have to come up with a question of how far, and you have to mention the animal. If possible, use an animal to come up with a question. How tall is a giraffe, for an example? How many? I want you to be creative on your own. And how fast can a cheetah run? How fast does a cheetah run? Let's say. How far can you swim? I can swim about 100 meters. This is an example of you can use what is your ability. So you can use like that, or you can use for an animal. Or I am trying to relate this to the lesson, that is we are learning about animals. So it would be better if you use a general knowledge on animals. In the other day also teacher exposed to you about animal skills and interesting facts about animals. So you can use that to come up with questions like this. Or if you feel it's very hard for you, you can also come up with your own question, as simple as this, like what have they given to you. How far can you swim? I can swim about 100 meters. If you were to ask me this question, I would definitely answer you, I can't swim, so I can't tell you how far I can swim. So I would say, I can't swim. I do not know how to swim. Okay, that's an example. So you can also come up with these kind of questions, and if possible, prepare at least one question and write it down in the book. Same goes for activity 6. Whichever that you have to discuss with a friend, just prepare them one or two questions on your own, answers, and write down in the book. So whenever we have a Google Meet lesson, we will discuss this, and I will ask you, have you completed the work that I gave you? It's not like a work, it's just an activity. Remember that. Okay, if you have finished that and you feel it's more interesting, you can invent more questions for the quiz in exercise 5. So if you want to come up with more questions, something similar to this, which we did earlier in activity 5, after listening to the podcast, you can come up with your own questions as well. That's all. It's simple as that. How heavy is a new baby? Okay, you can think of how fast can the fastest person run? So how fast can the fastest person run? How many? Okay, so you have to have that answers. If possible, if you're coming up with a question, try to prepare the answers as well to make it more interesting. If you are too lazy to do that, it's okay. You can just, it's always easier to ask questions than giving answers, right? So up to here, I hope you understood, and teacher hope I was clear enough in explaining for you the first part of the lesson of can and can't, and the ability part of it. And I hope that you're also clear about answering these activities that I'm explaining to you now on page 37 of your English Plus One book. Just remember, whichever activity we are doing, just write down and answer it in English 1, just that one book that I'm asking you to do. And if you feel you are ready to answer the workbook, the relevant pages, the pages that we have already done in class, in online class, you can answer them. I meant those pages relevant to these practices in your workbook. If still problems are understanding what I'm saying, you can message or WhatsApp teacher. Teacher would explain to you in detail, and I reply your voice notes or messages or WhatsApps. Alright, that's all for today. I hope you have a clear picture on this lesson for language focus, a revision on can and can't, affirmative negative sentences, a repetition yet again, and the usage of how in coming up with questions, not only asking about animals, facts about animals, and also asking about people around you, how tall is, for example. So I hope you understood the lesson for today. Thank you.